Alright guys, so I wanted to shoot this video. I've been wanting to do a video like this for some time now. I actually don't really know if I'm even in the frame because, I've had this phone for a little while now, and I just realized that when I'm recording with the front-facing camera, there's no way for me to flip it to the other side. Or maybe I just haven't figured it out yet. But anyway, so hopefully I'm in the frame. So I am in my car. I am in a parking garage. I am actually charging my car. And I kind of, I have done videos in the past about my light sensitivity and that kind of thing. And it's been a while since I've done kind of like an updated one. My light sensitivity really hasn't changed. I actually just recently went through a really, really bad flare, and I'm kind of concerned that I might be going through another one at the moment. But because of that, I wanted to kind of make this video, that and the fact that I got a new car. The car is not brand new. It was a used car, but it's new to me. And it's actually an electric car. So my car, I don't think I ever shot a video on my old car. It was a 2006 Suzuki Forenza. It was a gas car. And I had it for over 16 years. So the car was literally it's been on its last leg for like the last 3 years. I knew that I was going to need to get a new car sometime soon. I've been knowing this for several years, and this was the year. So in February, my plates were going to expire. And I had to do my smog, and my check engine light had been on for quite some time already. It actually had been on and off for a very long time, but it had been steadily on for quite a while. And so I knew the day was coming, and sometimes it would go off, but in order to kind of get the timing right, wait for it to go off and then get to the smog place so he could do my smog check, was going to be kind of a bit of a challenge because it was just on so much. Sometimes it would turn off, and then I would drive it for a little bit, and then it would turn on while I was driving. So I knew that I had to do something before my plates expired, because if your plates expired and you get caught, you get a ticket, and I don't want to pay for that. And if you don't get caught and your plates expire, then if you renew it late, you also get fined for that. The car had to be junked, so there was no way I was going to be able to sell the car or anything like that. It was going to the junkyard, and that was that. They did give me some money for the junkyard. I also looked into other rebates and stuff, and an electric car was going to get me the maximum amount of rebates that I could probably qualify for. I did not want a car, period. My parents have 2 cars. I did not want a car at all, but they wanted me to get a car because obviously borrowing cars is very difficult and very complicated sometimes, even though none of us work, but they insisted that I get my own car. So I ended up with this little Fiat 500e because it was the most economical car that I could find. It would qualify for some rebates, as well as I got $1,500 for junking my car. And I did not want to pay $10,000 for a car. I did not want to pay $8,000 for a car. I didn't want to pay anything for a car. This was probably the cheapest that I was going to get with rebates and everything. On top of the fact that it's fully electric, I won't be paying for gas. I don't drive anywhere. I don't really go anywhere, which is why I did not want to get a car. But seeing that this is an electric car that gets, not an incredible amount of range. I think it's like 80 miles per full charge. I was like, that's more than enough because I rarely leave the house. So very long story to get to the point about my light sensitivity. Nowadays, and even in my sister's car, she has a 4Runner that is, a gas car. Nowadays, you are not going to find a car without digital screens. Right now I have them off. Let me see if I could flip you guys around here. So this is a fully digital, I have it covered. So you can see I have sort of like a static cling. Sorry, there's an alarm going off. I made a little window so I could see my mileage. It's off right now. And there's another screen over here for the radio, which also has another static cling on it. It's off right now. I do have these lights on because it's super dark in here and you guys would not be able to see me or anything inside without them. Yes, they do bother me. Those lights out there also bother me. These are fluorescent lights. These are the worst kinds of lights that bother me. And there's some Tesla charging stations over there. So what is my point with this video? So my point was that nowadays any car that is newer, my car was a 2006 Suzuki Forenza. I think once you're getting, into the 2010s, 12s, whatever, you're looking at digital screens. I did do a test drive of this car a few times. I did, I think, 2 or 3 test drives. Yes, I knew the screen was going to bother me, but sometimes I can deal with it for, a short drive or something. I didn't notice anything severe. So fast forward to February when I had a bad sinus infection and I went through a horrible flare. So what happened was I had my sinus infection. This car was actually getting maintenance done. A couple of little things needed to be fixed with the car. So I didn't have the car during the time of the sinus infection. Afterwards, I went and picked it up. They had it for almost 2 weeks. I went and picked it up and I got into the car. I did not have the static clings that you see now in the car because I didn't think that it was going to be that big of a deal. The screen is an LCD screen, which is fluorescent backlit screen, which, like I said, as I showed you the fluorescent lights in this garage or in this parking structure, those are the worst kinds of lights, the ones that hurt me the most. And so I don't know, I exposed myself too much to it. I think I was just coming off of the sinus infection and I did not feel, I was already kind of flared up, I guess. And that threw me into a 2-month flare. And right now I just had another sinus infection, just completed another week of antibiotics, and I can tell I'm flaring a little bit. I hope I don't flare as bad as I did this last time, but knowing my body, just keeping my fingers crossed. So I think what I kind of wanted to illustrate with this video was how complicated life has become, especially as technology has advanced, as cars have advanced. I knew I wanted an electric car. I did not want to get another gas car because here in Southern California, they will be phasing out gas cars within the next, 10, 20 years. So I definitely wanted an electric car. If you're looking at an electric car, they are all going to have digital screens. So that was my solution, was to get these static cling things. I actually found them. I just Googled it online and I Googled blackout curtain, blackout screen, I think blackout fabric, something. And if you guys have heard of Temu, that new, it's a new app, it just has a lot of cheapy stuff. This came up on Temu and I ordered it. It was free, I think free shipping, free returns. It was perfect. Exactly what I needed. So it's basically just this I don't think I even peeled off the back of this one. It's just a static cling. One side is shiny and it sticks to the screen. The other side is opaque. It's opaque. It's black. It's a blackout. So a lot of people will tell me, why can't you just use your sunglasses? Why can't, just close your eyes? Your eyelids are not opaque. Sunglasses are definitely not opaque. It's not about the brightness. It's about the type of lighting. A fluorescent light flashes at a very, very high speed. That's why you don't see it with your eyes and you don't see it here on the camera, because it's flashing at an extremely, extremely high speed and you don't perceive it with your eyes. My head perceives it though. My head perceives it as pressure, pain, kind of like migraine type of pain. So, that becomes a problem. And so once I saw my reaction to the screens, and granted, I was coming off of a sinus infection, I just decided I was going to cover up the screens. I left a little window to see my mileage. Yes, I can't see my speed, but I actually have a speedometer on my cell phone that I can use, but I'm never really going that fast. I'm never going that far. So it's not like I absolutely need to know what speed I'm going at. So yeah, it's really, when I got the car, I love this car, by the way. It is a fast little car. Driving my old car, my Suzuki, was like driving through mud because it was a very heavy car, and it was just, the transmission was bad. Everything was bad. But, it's really, technology is moving forward, you guys. And, I went through this with my cell phone. I think I might have done a video on that because my old cell phone was giving out. I needed to find a new one. And then that phone was slowing down and I needed to get another new one. I was fortunate enough to find a phone with an OLED screen that is actually not too bad for me. But cars typically, I think, are going to have LCD screens. LCD screens, I think, are a little bit more durable, I think, and the colors are brighter. It's a very strong screen because when I look at it, the lighting is very strong. It's very bright. But I just had to work around it. And at the point where I had the flare, I mean, I had already paid off the car. I paid the car cash. I bought it from a private seller. So there was really no going back. And the car is in great condition. It had low mileage. It was perfect for what I needed it for, which was basically nothing because I don't go anywhere. And you can plug it in at home, and charge it at home overnight. So I don't know. It's just the perfect little car. It's very small. You can't really even fit anybody in the back. I don't know if you guys can see the back. You really can't fit anybody back there. But in the 17 years that I had my Suzuki Forenza, maybe once or twice, the day that we took it to the junkyard, I had a passenger in that car. And that was probably like the first time in years that I had one passenger in the car. I had never driven that car with 4 people in it, probably ever. So all I needed was 2 seats, really. And I mean, it's just a perfect little car except for the screens. And there was no way, I'm not going to find a newer year car or an electric car that does not have these digital screens. So I guess my point being is that life is hard. It's just been such a difficult, these last few months, apart from all the other things that have happened. You guys will see all the other videos of the things that have been going on, but it was so challenging. I did not want to pay a lot of money for a car. This is probably the cheapest electric car that you can get right now, fully electric car. But any other electric car would have been the same situation. Digital screens, I would have paid more, and I just wasn't, I needed a car, and I needed a car quickly. Sorry, the light went off. I think they time out. So it's been hard. It's been difficult to navigate this whole situation, but the good thing is that I found something of a solution to it. I don't know if I would get pulled over for having the screens covered, but so far everything has been good. It just sucks that I can't see the screen if anything happens or anything like that. I mean, I could always pull the cling off. It's I could just rip it off if I really needed to, but it's just, technology is moving forward. Everything is becoming digital. I want to do another video because on this whole lighting situation, because here in Southern California, they are phasing out incandescent light bulbs. And incandescent light bulbs are the only light bulbs that I can withstand and that I'm more or less comfortable with. And they are phasing them out. You can't even buy them anymore here in Southern California. You can't buy them on Amazon. They won't allow them to be shipped to a California address. I have been able to find some. They're like appliance light bulbs, and I'm using those in my room, but they're phasing them out. And it's been probably a year at least that I haven't been able to find incandescent light bulbs. So things are getting hard out here. It's getting really complicated as far as my lighting and my light sensitivity is concerned. By the way, I do not need any comments. If you have made it this far in the video, I do not need any comments of people telling me, have you tried these glasses? Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you tried, taking mushrooms? I've tried everything. It doesn't work. The light sensitivity is a neuromuscular issue. It's up here somewhere. It's part of my inflammatory, autoimmune, whatever. Until they find a cure for the autoimmune thing, I don't think that this issue is going to be resolved. So, that being said, I don't need weird comments or people telling me to buy blue light glasses, because this is not about blue light. It's not about the color. It's not about the brightness. It's usually the type of light and mostly my own personal inflammation, autoimmune illness. But yeah, I kind of wanted to do this video to kind of illustrate to you guys how difficult chronic illness, all the different things that we have to do in order to accommodate ourselves when we have very, very weird, very rare symptoms. And I know I'm not the only one. And we have to work around these things. And you know what? I'm glad that I found a workaround, because I love this little car. It's, like I said, it's perfect for my needs. It gets me from point A to point B. There are days, I go days without driving it, and I don't have to worry about the car going bad because I'm not driving it. It doesn't lose a charge if I don't drive it. So I just kind of wanted to put this out there so that people can see how hard it is and how we constantly have to think ahead, micromanage, sometimes things go wrong. Like I said, I paid in full for this car without knowing what the consequences were going to be. Like I said, right now I am in a parking garage with fluorescent lights. The charging here is actually free, but unfortunately these fluorescent lights are not my friend. And so I got to get out of here pretty soon. They're going to give me a bit of a headache, and sometimes the headache can linger for days. I did film another video in another parking structure where the lights were a bit different and they weren't as severe as these. But I just want to kind of drive the point home at how many challenges there are for those of us that have these weird symptoms. So I hope that this kind of, for people that like to give me suggestions on glasses and weird things. I've been like this for 10 years, and I don't think that is going to change anytime soon. I've tried everything. There's really nothing that makes the light sensitivity go away. It actually can get worse, and I saw that in the last few months, that it can flare up. So yeah, you guys, I thank you so much for your care and concern ahead of time. But please, no suggestions, no advice. This is not going to go away with glasses or with, the only thing to do is to block out the light or to stay away from the light completely. Can I stand it for a little bit? Yes. Should I do that? Probably not, because now I know that it can possibly throw me into a flare. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope this was a little bit educational and eye-opening for some of you. And to those of you out there that are struggling with something similar, or even just other issues that keep you from leading a normal life, my heart goes out to you. But, we work around these things. We work around these issues. We find creative ways to accommodate ourselves and to make our lives more comfortable. And I would say just hang in there. You can still live a good life, and there are still things to enjoy. Like, I just came back from the mall. I did a quick trip to the mall. I can't stay in the mall that long either because of the lights there. But I've learned that I can go and do a quick trip, to take care of errands and stuff. So yes, guys, I hope that this was kind of a helpful real world type of video. I would like to do more of these so that you guys can see how complicated it can be. The only thing is that, like, when I go to a grocery store, I have to be in and out of there in less than 10 minutes. So to bust out my phone and to start filming in there would just make the trip longer and make it a little bit more painful for me. But this might be kind of a good illustration of, how complicated things can get. So anyways, this video has gone on pretty long, longer than I expected. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.